Hey everybody, it's your man Tyke coming to you with another true spook story. Before I begin, I would ask that you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video. Share me with those people who just want to hear a nice spooky story that's 100% true. Now, let's begin. This true spook story take place in this park within the Orlando, Florida area, about 3-4 blocks away from Camping World Stadium. This park is called Lizzie Rogers Park. I don't know the history of Lizzie Rogers, but I can tell you the history of this park. And it starts back when I was about 14 years old. I was just coming into my manhood. I was talking to this girl named Jamila to be exact. And she was very tomboyish, hung out with the boys and everything. And her cousin named Brad, he was a weird fuck, but he was my homeboy. So we all hung out together. So naturally, if you're hanging out with, your homeboy, they got a cousin, sister or something, you're gonna gravitate towards it. It is what it is. Real nigga talk here. So one day, Jamila and I are sitting at the park on the bench. It was just us in the park alone. And we was kissing and trying to get the feel and trying to see what was going to happen. Neither one of us knew anything about sex, but hey, we were going to give it the old Harvard try. I was doing my best to talk up on a shot, Nothing ever came from it. But, so as Jamila and I sitting there and we talking, the sun started going down. And she was like, oh man, it's getting dark. And it was about 5-6 o'clock. And she was like, man, it's getting dark. I gotta get the hell out of this park. And I said, oh, why? And she like, man, a lady got killed over here. She was raped and murdered. And I said, oh yeah, I remember my grandma talking about that. And so then it dawned on me. All the spooky shit my grandma was saying to me about this particular situation, the whole neighborhood knew. So I got spooked out because it was scared. So I got scared, y'all. So me trying to be a gentleman, I wanted to walk her to the exit side of the gate. And then I was gonna run back through the park before it got real dark. So I say, okay, let me walk you to your side of the gate and you can go ahead and exit where you gotta exit at and things like that. And I was gonna just shoot. I was gonna beeline straight to the other side and get out of that thing. Well, I walked her to the side of the gate. She said, okay, gotta go. She gave me a little kiss on the cheek, grabbed a little basketball and kept on floating. So I guess we must have took a long ass time walking to that gate. Because that bitch, it was dark as fuck in that park, or whether the climate over the park changed, the weather changed, I don't know. It got dark as fuck real quick. Now I'm finna stop y'all right there, and I'm finna tell y'all how this park came to be this way. So the story goes that there was this lady. She used to probably sell a little tail, sell a little ass around the neighborhood. This was in the Sunset Park neighborhood. All this happened in Orlando, Florida, about 2 blocks away from the Camping World Stadium. Back in the day, it was called the Citrus Bowl. So it was this lady. She was a prostitute and she was around there selling tail, and none of the kids really played at the park. It didn't have any good equipment. So, it was, people used to do drugs out there. The tough heads used to go out there, smoke pot, drink beer, barbecue here and there. It wasn't nothing. A couple shootings happened there, here and there. We in the middle of the hood, it is what it is. It was a fun time, scary time, crazy time, but we enjoyed ourselves. So late, it was around by in like May. Yeah, it was around by early May, close to June. And this was back in like, I'm gonna say around about 1991, 95, in that area there. So we all get up and we're going to school. I was going to Robert E. Lee Middle School at that time. And the way we went to get on our bus, excuse me, the way we went to get on our bus, we would have to walk through the park to get to the bus stop. So we're walking through the park, laughing, talking, and all of a sudden we see two men in the distance looking down, and they was staring, and I don't know what they was looking at, but they was looking down and they was hovering over the body. So we was about to be nosy and go over there and check and see what's going on. And they kept saying, y'all kids don't need to see this. Get on out of here now. Y'all gonna get that bus. Go on, go on, go on. And one of the guys came and like covered our faces and just kept pushing us off the bus. So we talked a little shit to him. I'm gonna tell my mama you touch me. All that type of shit, and he like, I don't give a fuck. Get on the bus, goddamn, if I beat your ass. I'm like, ugly ass nigga, we used to say shit like that, run on the bus, and I beat your ass when we. So, just kids being kids. So we never knew what went on until we got out of school and we seen the police tape and all that there. So evidently the lady that was around there that was prostituting, somebody had unalived her, sexually assaulted her, and but that wasn't the gruesome part of this thing, people. We're gonna get to the spooky stuff in a second. I just want to paint the picture about this part. They had unalived her in the park overnight. So when the police found her, everybody found her. The way everybody described how she passed away was the scariest thing on the planet and the most horrific, and I have never experienced nothing like that. And I want you guys to rock with me here now. Stick with me. This is a kid who ain't seen none of this stuff, who ain't seen a vagina other than a porno. A couple people went down there with their Polaroids. I guess that was like the super phones back in the day, and they was taking pictures with their Polaroids and stuff of the body and how it was seen. So my uncle Dallas, he had took like 5 or 6 Polaroid pictures and fanned them, and he was showing them around the neighborhood. So we happened to snatch one out of his hand and run off, and he threatened to whip us. But when we looked at what we saw, I'm finna describe in detail, y'all, so bear with me. I use some choice words so this bitch can be played on YouTube. Well, she had her throat cut across. Her eyes was black and blue. Her jaw was broken. She had bruises all over her chest, and she had scraped off, and you could see her breast and everything. You could see the bruising on her skin and how the blood had settled under the ribs. And it was just a horrible thing seeing a body like that in a picture. And you can tell that the guy had, cut her throat, and that's what he did. And I would say he probably did all this to a post-mortem. But that wasn't the worst thing we saw in them pictures. He had taken twigs and sticks and debris, leaves, and stuffed it inside this sister. Now, I don't know if he did this while she was living. I don't know if he did this while she was passed away. I just know that there was blood down there, and we seen it like a tree growing out of that woman. And we was like, the hell, the fuck, no way. Now that can fuck a kid up, y'all. So police came, they cleaned it up. I so thank God for the morticians and the people at the board who could stomach that type of shit, because boy, I would have been depressed forever if I would have had to pull that stuff out that woman. But that's neither here nor there. That's just my personal issues. Boy, that was tough to relive, y'all. I apologize for the stuttering. But yeah, so that's how that woman looked. So whoever unalived that woman in that park, they did her a dirty deed. So my grandma come in, my grandma saw that we had watched and saw the pictures, and we was all messed up, and we was all crying for that woman, and my sister was having nightmares of people doing her the same way. It got really bad. So my grandma told us that park is haunted from here on out. And she said a lot of bad stuff is going to happen to that park. And she told the girls in the family, you guys more than likely stay out of that park, because she didn't want them to get possessed by the spirit of that woman who was a night walking woman, to get in my sister and them and try to seek revenge. Go around looking for the men, or have them walk in the street hoping that the same guy would try something, that type of thing. But she warned the guys, the boys, she say, and you men, you boys, she told her own kids, and she told her grandbabies, boy, y'all don't ever let the sun go down in that park. Because if that sun go down in that park, that bitch gonna get you. That ghost bitch gonna have y'all ass, and she gonna try to take your manhood. And on top of taking your manhood, she probably gonna sit up there and drive you crazy and murder you. Drive you to do something stupid. So be in that park. Stay your ass out that park now. Don't get caught in that park after 6:30, 7 o'clock. When the sun go down, you get your ass in this house, and you don't go nowhere near that park. I don't give a damn if you have to walk all the way around. And we knew this. We knew not to be in that park. But my crazy ass growing up, trying to chase a little scooch, I was in that park. And I thought I had a little time because it was daylight. But boy, was I wrong. So that's just the gruesome part of that shit. Here go the spooky part, y'all. And I'm not gonna make you this long because I don't like this memory. And I know y'all like a long one, but I just want this to be just right. So this sister, so after I walk Jamila to the gate, and I say I'm gonna beeline through the park to get to my side of the gate, I saw that it had got really dark. And I don't know, did it gloom over? I don't know. I just don't know how it got so dark so quick. Maybe I stepped into another dimension. Maybe she had enough power after being there so long. She had control over that area. So I say, well, I'm going to walk the fence line in case I see somebody. I jump that fence. I bend the fence and, just go behind, Mr. Marco's house or something like that. And, he had a pit bull, but, we can always outrun the pit bull and shit. It was fat. So I'm walking around the fence line, and it's dark as fuck. And her body was found on the opposite side of the park, so I'm good. So all of a sudden, I get about 12, 15 feet in on the fence line. And I'm staring at the corner. I don't know, was it my imagination? But I don't know what it was. But all of a sudden, lo and behold, and I kid you not, I see that woman. I see her standing up, and I see her staring at me. And she is so far away from me that the depth perception is she was just over there on under the pavilion where they found her body. And she just staring at me. And she's not, and I can't see her eyes, I can't see her face, I can't see anything, but I know she's staring at me, she's watching me, y'all. And I'm like taking my time, and I start moving real slow, so that, I wouldn't rile her up, let her know I was scared, but I was terrified. And I'm like, oh my God, Grandma gonna be so mad at me, my mom gonna be so mad at me. I saw this woman. And I'm sitting up there, y'all, and I'm walking that fence line. All of a sudden, she raised her hands, and she like raised both of her hands, like telling me to come to her. And I'm like, bitch, I ain't crazy. I ain't going to no ghost, So as she telling me to come to her, she began to, play with her hair, fluff her hair, and act like she fixing her makeup. And she began to like show me a big ass smile, and it wasn't no spooky smile. It was a very cute smile. like trying to entice me, waving her fingers like, come here, come here. And I could hear the voices like, come over here, come sit with me. And I guess because I knew my grandma taught this stuff and I knew it was a ghost lady, I'm like, no. So as I kept getting into the gate and I'm inching, and I got one hand on the gate, and the gate was low enough up to my waist where I could just, push one hand on that bitch and scale that motherfucker like a parkour ninja. It is what it is. So I said, So I'm walking and I'm praying to God, oh Jesus, please don't let this ghost come get me. Please don't let this ghost come get me. And I said, I'm not going to close my eyes. I said, because when you take your eyes off of ghosts, that's when they can get close to you. And I remember my grandma telling me, if you could keep your eyes open without blinking, the ghost can't come near you. Because it's something called quantum lock, it's rules. And I'll teach that probably one day on my other YouTube channel. And so I'm staring at her, my eyes getting dry. And lo and behold, I look down at the grass to make sure I ain't trip over nothing. And when I look back up, people, that lady was at least about, I'm gonna say she was at least 25 yards away from me. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So now I'm sitting up there on the fence line and I'm staring at her ass, like eyes big as fuck, popping out my head. And I'm like, oh God. And I ain't blinking at all. And my eyes hurting, the bloodshot red. And she's still doing the same old slow motion moving ass way. Come here, come give me a hug. But as she was getting close, my eyes started watering. And I'm like, I gotta blink him, and I'm scared, and I'm about ready to cry. But then I know if you cry, when your tears don't come out until you close your eyes, and then it run down your cheek. So, and everything lasted like hours, man, hours in my mind. So again, I blinked my eyes real quick, and I opened them. Man, that lady, she was like no more than I'm gonna say 15 feet away from me now. And I know she getting closer now. I could smell blood and I could smell grass. I could smell blood and dirt and grass and wood and shit. That's what she smelled like. Iron mixed with dirt and wood. Like just horrible. And I'm still walking this fence line. So I say, how the fuck I'm gonna jump the fence when I can't see where I'm jumping? And I'm thinking all this stuff and she just waving to me. So then all of a sudden, the smile turned real mean and she got real mad at me. And she started frowning and she started she was crying in agony and pain. And when she was crying in agony and pain, I felt sorry for her in my heart. And I said, oh my God, I just wanted to go to her and give her a hug to help her, to comfort her. But I know she was playing on my emotions as a child. And then all of a sudden, she just started taking off her clothes. So I'm looking at a naked ghost lady, y'all. But I'm looking at the naked ghost lady, but she had all the bumps and the bruises and the discoloration of the skin. And she just still waving to me with a sad look on her face, and she started crying like, come here, help me, come here. Help me, come here, help me. I ain't gonna hurt you, come here, I just need help. And I was like, shit. So I'm like, oh shit, my eyes are hurting. I'm finna blink my eyes again. Oh God, she gonna be in my face. She gonna grab me. And as I'm walking and I'm back to the exit, I didn't turn. I just knew the exit because I could feel like a cool breeze coming from the exit of the gate. And I was praying that I could keep my eyes open for that time period, y'all. And so I get to the gate and I feel myself touch concrete. And I wanted to look down at the concrete, but I'm like, man, if I look down, this lady and I turn my back to her, she's gonna grab me and scratch me or pull me deep in the park and I'm gonna be dead or something. So as she got close and I saw my eyes closing, cause I saw my eyes closing. I backed up and I tripped over a little log or over a little brick thing. I don't know what the fuck I tripped on. Maybe the curve was higher than the grass, but I tripped. And when I tripped, I fell backwards out of the gate of the park. And when I fell backwards out of the gate, I blinked my eyes because I was scared I was falling. And I looked up at the sky and I'm like, oh shit, she got me. I'm dead, I'm falling. I'm thinking all kind of shit. But when I hit the ground, I realized I was out of the gate. And when I looked in the gate, she was still there like it wasn't shit, man. She wasn't running. So I beeline up the road to Dollins Avenue. That's where our house was. We lived off Dollins Avenue. So I'm beelining, grandma, mama, uncle, grandma, mama, uncle. And I'm just running. So I get up there and I say, hey, grandma, mama, uncle. And they like, what the hell wrong with you? What the fuck you making all that noise for? You gonna wake them people up. People eating dinner, bitch. Shut up. I say, it's a ghost. I saw the lady, the ghost. Grandma say, what time it is? And grandma looked at her watch and she spit that snuff in that spit cup. And grandma pulled out that motherfucking belt and started whooping my ass. Didn't I tell you to stay away from that park before 6? That bitch could have got you, and your ass could have been lost in damnation somewhere. And my mama like, he knew better, mama. Beat him. And Uncle Dot was like, you went out there to see, can you see the naked body, huh? He making jokes, and grandma just tearing on my ass with that little leather scrap. So after she got through whooping me for a good 3-4 minutes, I say, she's still there. I say, when I got out the gate, she didn't disappear. So they like, come on, let's put on our shoes. So grandma and them, we all walked down there. And they believe me because I'm hot and I'm sweaty and I'm dirty and I'm fucked up, right? So they walked down there with me. And as they walked down there with me and things, they's like, oh my God. And then everybody saw it. And it was like 5 or 6 people that came. My brother came, my sister came, my mama came, cousin Neri came. Everybody came because they didn't believe me. They thought he just making it up. They like, Pat, that boy eating too much sugar. Pat, don't feed him tonight. Let him go to bed. So all that bullshit, man. It was hard on a nigga back in the day, y'all. But everybody went down there, and I said, you see how dark the park is and everything else like? They like, yeah, that's strange. So they got there, so they looked at the woman, and she was over there. She wasn't standing up anymore. You can see her body laying down in the same position where the police found her at, y'all. And everybody was like, and they didn't see the full apparition, they just can tell something was off in the distance laying on the ground. And my grandma said, yup, that's that bitch. They said that. My grandma said, and y'all, I can't make this up. My grandma said, that bitch gonna always be in this park. That bitch gonna always be here. And I said, grandma, but we can't play in this park no more. Grandma said, she only come out like after 6 or 7, just playing this bitch and then just leave. Before that time. And everybody was looking, and the apparition didn't move. And I mean, I wish I had my family here to say, yeah, and they could describe her too. But she didn't leave. She was just laying there. She wasn't saying nothing. It just was the apparition of the body, a hunt. So my grandma started talking to us and telling us, like, do y'all know who it was? Did they give a name? And the police never released the name to us. And my grandma told me that lady's spirit would be there in that park until her family come and get her. Listen to me good, y'all. Her apparition, her energy will be in that park until her family come in there and tell her they need to take her with her and go with her. But nobody knew this lady. Nobody knew her family. She was a night walker. So I don't even think they realized that lady was dead because it was newspapers back then. It wasn't internet. And so that lady is still there. The case is unsolved. Now, I'm finna take you to fast forward to 2019. From most than I could believe, a young boy, a teenager, 17, in 2019, ended up shooting somebody in that same park. When the police asked why he did it, he said he was defending this woman from this man that was raping her. And the dude that was shot, everybody like, ain't no woman in this park with nobody raping her. You just walked up on that man at nighttime and just shot that dude. And this boy is sitting in prison right now, and his story was to the news, and look this up, I can't make this up, 2019, May 2019, Orlando, Florida, Lizzie Rogers Park. The boy kept saying he was defending this woman from being raped by this man. And that's how that worked. And he was like, yeah, I was defending that woman from being raped. I was self-defense. I'm a hero. And everybody testified against him. Like, that was just him. And people, there you have it. I don't know how many I'm in my late 40s now. So I don't know how many atrocities that happened at that park due to that woman's spirit being there. But I actually went and recorded a video of that woman. I walked through the park right now, right before I did this story. It was 7 o'clock at night, but the sun's still light and it's still bright. And I walked through it with all the spiritual protection I got around me. I think I can handle it now. And I walked the whole park. Walking in a circle, it takes 5 minutes to get from the entrance of the gate all the way, taking a circle around the park to get to the exit of the gate, back to the same entrance, which is an exit. 5 minutes, everybody. We don't know the woman's name, but we know she's still hunting that park because her family never came to reclaim her soul and told her it was okay to leave. Her murder is unsolved. And in 2019, a teenager killed another adult man, claiming that he was raping or trying to take advantage of this female and he was defending her. But there was no female around. That lady made that boy do that, y'all. And people were still sitting at that park. Maybe it's a different generation and nobody knows what happened at that park. You know, all the old heads done moved away. I done moved away as kids. But that park is cursed. I'll never go hang out at that park. You guys shouldn't go hang out at that park either. And if you're a ghost hunter, ghost adventurer, go out there and see what you can find. It's been about 3 deaths at that park so far. All right, everybody, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm tight. Telling you guys, stay blessed.